What is your assessment of the ceasefire, of the dramatic release of all remaining living hostages, and of the scenes in the Knesset with President Trump? What is your view of it all?
Well, I could make a number of points. First of all, it's wonderful to see the hostages released for their sake and for their families' sake. And it's wonderful to see the Palestinian prisoners released as well. That is all a net positive. In terms of President Trump and his performance in the Israeli Knesset, it was vintage Trump. He's one of the greatest showmen of all time. His ability to put on a rock and roll show is just not to be underestimated. I don't think there's any other politician in our history or on the planet at this point in time who can operate before an audience as well as he does.
Yeah.
Now, with regard to substance, which is, of course, the key issue, I think that this hostage exchange, this temporary ceasefire and hostage exchange is definitely a move forward. But the two critical questions on the table are, number one, will you get a permanent ceasefire? Will the ceasefire hold? And then number two, will you get a genuine peace agreement at the end of this entire process? And I think there is zero chance you'll get a peace agreement. And I think the chances that this ceasefire will hold are not good at all.
Why?
Well, the Israelis are bent on destroying Hamas, and more importantly, they're bent on ethnically cleansing the Palestinians from Gaza. That's their principal goal. They have not defeated Hamas. And there's no way that they're going to end up disarming and defeating Hamas as a result of this ceasefire. It's just not going to happen, and I can explain why. And furthermore, the Israelis are not going to completely leave Gaza as long as Hamas is not defeated. And given that situation, coupled with the fact that Netanyahu and company are determined to drive the Palestinians out of Gaza, it's only a matter of time, I think, I hope I'm wrong, I think, before the ceasefire breaks down and we're back to conflict. By the way, Piers, you want to remember, right before President Trump took office, he took office on January 20th, on January 19th, a ceasefire was put into place. And that ceasefire lasted until March 18th when the Israelis broke it. But over the course of that ceasefire, the January to March 2025 ceasefire, 33 Israeli prisoners were released and 5 Thai prisoners were released. So we have a precedent here. But the fact is, after this earlier hostage exchange, it broke down, the ceasefire broke down, and you were back to the genocide. And my great fear is that that's what will happen this time. And he's made it clear to President Trump now that he does not want the Palestinian Authority to take over in Gaza, because his great fear is that that will mean movement toward a two-state solution, which he doesn't want. This is the great problem that we face. It's the Israelis, more than anything, who are opposed to a two-state solution.
And you don't think a change of leadership in Israel could have any impact on that?
Well, it's widely believed in the West, as you know, that the problem here is Benjamin Netanyahu. And if only we can get rid of Benjamin Netanyahu, then enlightened Israelis will come to power and will live happily ever after. This is not true. Benjamin Netanyahu gets elected time after time because his views reflect the views of most Israelis. And I believe that no matter who is driving the train in Israel, he or she will be committed to cleansing both the West Bank and Gaza. They want a greater Israel that has almost all Jews and no Palestinians.